So good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Morning,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So the topic today we are going to discuss is mechanical events during muscle contraction. So you might have already studied in basic physiology, but I would like to emphasize few additional points. So you know the muscle is an organ that is made up of muscle fibers. The muscle is made up of muscle fiber. Each muscle fiber is made up of thousands of myofibrils. Each myofibril is composed of thousands of sarcomeres, and sarcomeres are nothing but actin and myosin. That is, first is muscle fiber. Muscle is made up of muscle fiber. Muscle fiber is made up of myofibril. Myofibril is composed of sarcomeres, and sarcomeres are nothing but actin and myosin. Okay. So first is muscle is made up of muscle fiber, and muscle fiber are made up of thousands of myofibril, and myofibril is composed of thousands of. What is myofibril? If you take this as a myofibril, if you take this as one myofibril, then it consists of sarcomeres, many sarcomeres. Clear? So myofibril consists of sarcomeres in series. Clear? Sarcomeres in series. And what is sarcomere? Sarcomere is nothing but actin and myosin. Clear? So this consists of actin and myosin. So we will discuss this in detail. So you have to remember this, only this thing. Muscle consists of muscle fiber, and muscle fiber is made up of myofibril. This is one myofibril I had shown here. Clear? One myofibril is made up of sarcomeres in series. What is sarcomere? Sarcomere is nothing but a contraction unit or of the muscle of the myofibril, and that is actin and myosin. It is a contractile part of the muscle. So this is the image of the muscle fiber. Clear? So everything together, it is called a muscle. Clear? Muscle consists of, what is this? Muscle consists of muscle fiber. Clear? The one now, this is called muscle fiber. Clear? And muscle fiber consists of myofibril. This one. This is called myofibril. This one is called muscle. This one is called muscle fiber. Muscle fiber consists of myofibril, and this myofibril, it has actin and myosin. This is actin and myosin. Clear? So you should remember only three things: muscle fiber, and third is myofibril. Myofibril, this is one myofibril I had shown here. Clear? One myofibril, or it consists of, clear? It consists of here. myofibril. Clear? Now, a thin filament are located on both sides. Now we are going to study about the fibril, myofibril. A thin filament is called actin and thick filament is called myosin. Clear? So this is one myofibril. I have shown one myofibril. This one is one myofibril and this is one muscle cell. Clear? Are you clear? Okay. One muscle cell. From the muscle cell, I have taken one myofibril. So now, what is the myofibril? Myofibril, I already have told, it consists of actin and myosin. Clear? A thin filament are located on both sides of the sarcomere. What is sarcomere? Sarcomere is nothing but actin and myosin. Together it is called sarcomere. So I'll show this diagram. You can So this is sarcomere. Okay. What is sarcomere? Sarcomere is, this is thin line. Clear? I'll make another color, red color. So this thin line is called as actin. This thin line is called as actin. Actin is, and what is this thick band? This is called myosin. So actin and myosin together it is called sarcomere. Clear? Actin and myosin together it is called sarcomere. So actin is present on either side. Actin, that is thin filament, red color filament, is present on either side. A thin filament are located on both sides of the sarcomere. Clear? It is located on both sides of the sarcomere. See now, you see the thin filament, it is present, the thin actin filament are located on both sides of the sarcomere. Clear? This is thin filament, it is present on both sides of the sarcomere and attached to the two Z lines. So this is called Z line. Clear? Z line. So the sarcomere is attached to the Z line on the either side. Next, thick myosin filament is located at the center of the sarcomere. Thick is present in the center of the, this is center of the sarcomere. This is called myosin. So myosin filament has projections called head. Clear? This is, and you can see the projection. So this is called head of the myosin, and it reach out and attach themselves to the actin filament. This is actin filament and it attached to the actin filament. This is structure of the sarcomere. And what is sarcoplasmic reticulum? Sarcoplasmic reticulum of the muscle fiber has a stored calcium ions within it. Where is sarcoplasmic reticulum? So now you can see here. Clear? So this network structure, network-like structure, this is called sarcoplasmic reticulum. Clear? So this sarcoplasmic reticulum, it stores calcium ion. So calcium ion is present within this sarcoplasmic reticulum. Clear? So now we will see what happens during the contraction, muscle contraction. So till now what we discussed? We have discussed muscle. Muscle, it consists of muscle fiber. Muscle fiber, it has myofibril, and myofibril, it has sarcomere. What is myofibril? This is myofibril is a part. This is myofibril. Myofibril consists of actin and myosin. So one actin, we have actin is present on both the sides, and myosin is present in the center. And myosin is having the head which reach out and attaches to the actin. And both the sides, the actin filament is attached to the Z line. So that is what we have discussed till now. So now here, see, where is Z line here? This is Z line. Clear? This is Z line. Clear? So between two Z lines, you can see actin and myosin. Clear? So now, sliding filament mechanism. What are the mechanical events occurring? You will in physiology you would have studied sliding filament mechanism. So here I will be explaining you the 17 points, 17 steps. Clear? So step by step I will explain you what is happening and how the muscle is contracting. First point. 17 points we will discuss. The message of contraction, it originates in our brain and travel as an action potential within our central nervous system. Here, this is central nervous system. The impulses, it comes down through the descending fibers or the descending tracts. Action potential, it comes down. Message of contraction originates from the brain and travels as an action potential within the central nervous system. So this is first step. Clear? And from central nervous system, the information goes out through the peripheral nerve. Action potential travel out to the periphery in the motor neuron and reach the skeletal muscle at motor point. So this is peripheral nerve. This is peripheral nerve, motor nerve, and it reaches the muscle. Where it reaches at this point is called motor point. So what is motor point? Motor point is the place or point where the motor nerve enters the muscle. That is called motor point. Clear? So this is, second point is action potential travels out to the peripheral nerve and reach the motor point. Third, motor neuron secretes its neurotransmitter, that is acetylcholine, into the synaptic cleft at the neuromuscular junction. So this place, this junction is called as This point is called as neuromuscular junction. Clear? So here the acetylcholine is released. So this point is called as junction, synapse. That is motor neuron and the muscle where it meets. So there the acetylcholine is released. Clear? So this is second point. Second point is the action potential is traveling. And what is third point? Third point is action potential is released in the junction. Clear? Neurotransmitter is released. That is third point. Fourth. Now the neurotransmitter float across the synaptic cleft and bind to the motor end plate. So what is motor end plate? Where is motor end plate? You can see in this diagram, where is motor end plate? Here is the motor end plate. That is this point. This point is called, this place is called motor end plate. Clear? That is fourth point. Here is third, here is second. And this is fourth point. Fifth, electrical impulse on the muscle fiber travels along the muscle fiber's outer cell membrane. It travels along the outer cell membrane of the muscle fiber and transmitted into the interior of the muscle fiber by T tubules. So T tubules, you just go through the highlighted points, bold letters. Now it travels to the T tubules. What happens next? It travels along the end plate, from motor end plate, it travels along the muscle fiber and it enters neurotransmitter. It enters into T tubule. This is called the T tubule. Clear? Are you clear? This is 1 and sorry, this is 2 and this is 3 and in motor end plate it is 4 and this is 5. This is fifth step. Now the action potential, the acetylcholine, it enters into the T tubules. That is fifth point, fifth step. Now sarcoplasmic reticulum of the muscle fiber, what I have told, sarcoplasmic reticulum, it stores calcium. Already I have told this point. Sarcoplasmic reticulum, it stores the calcium ion. It stores the calcium ion. Where is sarcoplasmic reticulum? The network-like structure. This is called sarcoplasmic reticulum. So sarcoplasmic reticulum is stored here. Here. Now from here, it will enter into the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Or it will stimulate the sarcoplasmic reticulum and calcium ion will be released. Calcium ion will be released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So what is necessary? Sarcoplasmic reticulum, it stores calcium. But in order to release the calcium, it requires the action potential. It requires the acetylcholine. Clear? So action potential, it enters down and it goes inside the sarcoplasmic reticulum and it releases the calcium, stored calcium ion out of the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So this is point number 6. Sarcoplasmic reticulum of the muscle fiber release stored calcium ion into sarcoplasm. What is sarcoplasm? It is the cytoplasm of the muscle. It is a fluid within the muscle fiber. A fluid is present. It is called sarcoplasm. Now, The fluid contains calcium ion. Clear? The fluid now it contains the calcium ion. So this is what? Sarcoplasm. Clear? Now sarcoplasm is a fluid within the muscle fiber. Now calcium ion, or I will give, now calcium ion is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Now in sarcoplasm, calcium ion is present. From where this calcium ion came? Calcium ion came from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Clear? So that is sixth point. Now sarcoplasm is having the calcium, stored calcium ion is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum into the sarcoplasm. Now next step. The calcium ion, this calcium ion, it will bind into the actin filament. So now you should know the anatomy of actin filament. So this is actin filament. One actin filament I have drawn here. Clear? So this is called functional actin. This is actually actin. So actin, it has two proteins called as troponin and tropomyosin. Listen carefully. Actin, it has protein called troponin and tropomyosin. What is tropomyosin? Here it is. This is called a tropomyosin. Clear? The coiled structure. This is called tropomyosin. Clear? And this is called troponin. Troponin I have drawn here separately. Troponin has three units, T, C and I. Clear? T, C and I. So this portion, that is troponin of, listen carefully, C part, C portion of the troponin is the place where calcium ion will bind. This portion, C part, the area C is the place where the calcium ion will bind. Clear? Calcium, listen carefully, calcium binds troponin. Calcium binds troponin. I'll make it clear. You know now the calcium is present in the sarcoplasm. Clear? Sarcoplasm is, this is sarcoplasm, fluid. Clear? What I have told, sarcoplasm is having a calcium ion. Now it is having calcium ion. Now this calcium ion will bind troponin. Where it will bind? It will bind at this place. Calcium ion, calcium will bind troponin. So when calcium ion is binding the troponin, what will happen? Its shape, it changes the shape of the troponin. It changes the shape. Now this will rotate. Clear? Or now the tropomyosin will move away. Now you see here it is folded. Previously it was folded. What? Tropomyosin is folded. Now what will happen when this rotates due to attachment of calcium, the troponin will rotate, which in turn The tropomyosin, now the tropomyosin will unfold. Clear? This is what this is, tropomyosin. Before attachment of calcium. Before attachment of calcium with troponin. So after attachment, the tropomyosin, now it will unfold. When tropomyosin has unfolded, then what will happen? Now the binding site of actin will be exposed. Binding site of actin will be exposed. Clear? So what is the binding? I am not having the diagram. Okay. The binding site, now it will be exposed. So what is binding site? That is the site where the cross bridge formation occurs. See, I have told this is actin and this is myosin. Clear? And myosin, it has the head. This is called myosin. Clear? So previously, now first it was covered. And this is the site. For example, if this is the site of attachment or binding site, previously what it has been? It has been covered. It has been covered. Clear? When calcium attaches, what will happen? This binding site now will be uncovered. When calcium attaches the troponin, what will happen? Now it will unfold. If it is unfolded, then actin का जो binding site है, पहले वो बंद था, अभी खुल जाएगा वो. Clear? Now it will be unbind or it will be exposed. Now when it is exposed, what will happen? Now it will attach. What will attach? The myosin will attach the actin filament. Myosin will attach to the actin filament. And now the myosin head will move in this direction. The myosin will move in this direction after attachment. Now what will happen? This actin will slide towards center. Actin will slide towards the center. Myosin is fixed. Myosin is fixed. This head, when head is moving towards center, what will happen? Because myosin head is attached with the actin, actin will start moving in towards the center. Muscle get shortens. Clear? You can see this diagram for more. So this is binding site. Previously the actin filament is covered. Clear? When calcium is attached, then what will happen? This is binding site. Now it will bind. Clear? After that what happens? The head will move towards center. Along with head, the actin will also move. And now, if you require more contraction, then what it should happen? It should release and it will contact to other point and then further it will slide. Are you getting? First it will contract, first it will cross bridge is formed, the sliding will occur. If more contraction is required, then what will happen? It will unbind and it will rebind. It will unbind and it will rebind in another place and again it will pull. If further contraction requires, again the myosin will unbind, myosin head will unbind, and it will rebind, again it will come closer or towards the center. So likewise, the contraction, it increases. Mm. First it will drag, clear. And second, what will happen? Second diagram. Mm, it has been now moved. This is second diagram. This is first one. Clear? So this has been moved, and see, from here it has come to this position. From here it has come to this position. So if further requirement contraction requires, then what will happen? It will unbind. It will unbind, and it will again rebind in some other place, and again it will pull. So the filament is moving further towards the center. So likewise, it is pulling the actin towards the center. Clear? So for unbinding, okay, this is the which step we are discussing now. Sixth point is stored calcium is released. And seventh point is it exposes the binding site of the actin. This is seventh point. Ninth is head of the myosin filaments attach to the myosin actin and cross bridge forms. Formation of cross bridge is eighth point. Clear? And these cross bridges then bend, and it pulls the actin filament towards the center of the sarcomere. This is ninth point. Clear? So now, if the muscle requires more contraction, clear? What should happen? Suppose if the muscle has to contract more, what should happen? It should unbind. Myosin head should unbind. Clear? It should unbind and rebind on another side. Clear? So this unbinding process, listen carefully, this unbinding process require ATP. This is the point I want to highlight. So if the muscle requires more contraction, yes, muscle is already contracted. Muscle is already contracted. If you want muscle to contract more, then the myosin head should unbind. Unbind and rebind. Then only the muscle contraction further will occur. So for this unbinding procedure, ATP is required. Energy is required. If ATP is not present, then the muscle will be in the state of contraction. Unbinding will not occur. I think you are clear. Cross bridge will form. But after formation of cross bridge, if you want more contraction, it should unbind. So for the process of unbinding, you require ATP. Clear? If ATP is not present, then the muscle will be in the state of contraction. That is, cross bridge will be continued. Cross bridge formation will be continued, or the muscle will be always in the state of contraction. Now you listen. If ATP molecules are present, these cross bridge will stay in place. Hence, contraction is maintained and no further sliding of the filament will occur. If ATP molecules are no, if ATP molecules is not present, if ATP is present, the cross bridge will break and the myosin head attach to the next binding site on the actin filament, forming new cross bridge. It will attach in other place. It will attach in other place and then again it will slide. Clear? So for the unbinding process, ATP is required. If ATP is present, new cross bridge will be formed. If ATP is not present, then the contraction will remain same. Further contraction will not occur. Clear? Okay. Now, this binding, unbinding, binding, unbinding, I am talking in one single contraction. One single contraction. See, suppose if you are, listen, in my hand I am having 5 kg of weight. In my hand, listen carefully, if I am having 5 kg weight in my hand, after placing 5 kg weight in my hand, you try to palpate your biceps muscle, biceps brachii. You will feel the mild contraction of the muscle. Because you are having weight in the hand, the tension in the muscle will be increased. Clear? So now what you are doing, you are adding 5 more kg. Along with 5 kg, now you are adding 5 more kg. That is 10 kg weight you are adding to my hand. Now what will happen? You can feel the muscle has contracted more. 5 kg, the muscle is contracting, yes. But when you are placing 10 kg, at the same time, the muscle will contract more. So how this happened? What happened actually? When you place 5 kg weight, the muscle has been contracted. And when you are increasing the weight, now what happened? Myosin head has been unbinded and it has rebinded to the other point, and then further muscle contraction had occurred. That is why you will feel more contraction in your muscle. Clear? So as the weight increases, the tension in the muscle or the contraction increases. So when the contraction will increase? The contraction will increase only when the myosin head unbind and rebind. New cross bridge will form and further sliding will occur. If you add more weight in my hand, what will happen? Further it will rebind and further it will unbind and it will rebind. So for this process, you require ATP. Unbinding and rebinding process, it requires more ATP. Clear? So this process will repeat as long as ATP molecules are present. Suppose if the ATP is absent, then what will happen? Contraction will be maintained. Further contraction will not occur. Clear? The process will repeat as ATP molecules are present to initiate breakage. What is breakage? Unbind. To initiate breakage, ATP is required. And calcium ion is also required to keep the binding site exposed. So two things are required for contraction. What are those two things? One is calcium and other is ATP. Clear? Unless and until this calcium and ATP is present, contraction will remain. Continue. Suppose imagine ATP is present, calcium, there is no stored calcium in the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Sarcoplasmic reticulum is not releasing calcium. If calcium is not released, then what will happen? Uncoiled actin will be coiled. If calcium is present, then it will be uncoiled. If calcium is absent, then again the actin will go to this position. So the binding site will be what? Unexposed. Binding site will be unexposed. If binding site is unexposed, automatically myosin will detach from actin. Clear? So what is required for ATP is required for unbinding, and the myosin will rebind. If calcium is required to unfold the actin, clear? From folding this position, calcium is required to unfold and keep the binding site exposed. For that, calcium is required. Clear? So this process repeat. So this is 10th and this is 11th point and this is 12th point. So for 12th point, what we discussed? The ATP molecules are present. The process will repeat as long as ATP molecules are present to initiate breakage. And calcium ion to keep the binding site of the actin exposed, so that next cross bridge can be formed. So in this manner, sarcomere of the innervated muscle fiber will contract to its 100%. Now we will go reverse. When action potential stops, where we discussed okay, from the central nervous system, okay, when the action potential stops, clear, neurotransmitter will no longer be released. Neurotransmitter will be no longer it is released into the synapse. Now there is no action potential or no neurotransmitters. If neurotransmitters is not present, clear, what will happen? The action potential cannot be generated at the neuromuscular junction. Clear? At the neuromuscular junction, action potential, now it will not be. So this one, I'll finish in few minutes. Clear? If the neurotransmitter is stopped, then what will happen? Action potential will not travel. If action will not travel, then it will not travel into the T tubule. If action potential is not going through the T tubule, then sarcoplasmic reticulum will not release calcium. If calcium is not released, then What is this sarcoplasm? In sarcoplasm, there will be no calcium ion. Clear? Now calcium is not present. If calcium is present also, then what will happen? It will reabsorb. Sarcoplasmic reticulum will reabsorb the calcium. So what will happen now? Calcium is totally absent in the sarcoplasmic reticulum. If calcium is not present in the sarcoplasmic reticulum, then what will happen? What will happen? Calcium will not bind the troponin. Now calcium will not, here calcium will bind. Now calcium is not present. So now it will rotate to its original position. Clear? That is from unbinding position to binding position. Here. So what will happen in this position? The what is that place? The place called it is unexposed. Previously it was unexposed. Clear? Now it is binding site. Sorry, the binding site now it is. Previously it was exposed. Now it is unexposed or it is covered. When actin is covered, then myosin cannot bind with the actin. So now the cross bridge formation will not form or the muscle will relax. Clear? The muscle will be relaxed. Now you see. Without neurotransmitter, no impulses is sent into the interior of the muscle fiber, that is T-tubule. And calcium ions are no longer released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Even though if the calcium is present in the sarcoplasm, it will be reabsorbed. Calcium ions that are present in the sarcoplasm are reabsorbed by the sarcoplasmic reticulum by the expenditure of ATP. Now you listen. For this process also ATP is required. So in two places ATP is required. So this is the thing you will be studying new. ATP is required for two reasons. One is for unbinding. Second is for reabsorption of the calcium. Reabsorption of calcium. Suppose if ATP is not present, what will happen? Calcium will remain in sarcoplasm. If ATP is not present, I have told ATP is required for reabsorption. If ATP is not present, absorption will not occur. That is, calcium which is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum will not be reabsorbed. If it is not reabsorbed, then what will happen? The calcium, if it is remaining in the sarcoplasm, now the actin filament will remain still exposed. Clear? When it is remaining exposed, then the myosin will be in the contracting with the actin. Clear? So now what will happen? The contraction will remain. That is, the muscle will not relax. The muscle will not relax. So for relaxation, what you require? Calcium should be reabsorbed. Clear? So ATP is required for two processes. One is unbinding and second is reabsorption of the calcium. Are you clear? Any doubt? So 12, this is 12 point. This is 13, 14, 15, 17. So you go through these slides and you go through the 17 points again. So only 2 points you have to remember here. What is the function? That is the highlight study. Okay. Any doubt? Hello?
No, sir.
No, sir.